Good evening and thanks so much for joining us. The Canadian Food Inspection Agency has added another 200 products to its growing list of recalled beef, and it may not be over yet. The E. coli outbreak has been traced to the Brooks XL meat plant. Today, the federal agriculture minister held his second update in as many days, but calls from Parliament Hill are saying Jerry Ritz should resign.
The embattled agriculture minister hastily called a news conference to insist Alberta's XL Foods, the plant at the center of the E. coli outbreak, is not reopening for business, contrary to some reports.
The facility in question will not reopen until the president of the Canadian Food Inspection Agency has confirmed in writing to me that it is safe.
The Conservatives are under fire for their handling of the biggest beef recall in Canadian history. And as 200 new products are added to the growing list of potentially tainted meats from the plant, the opposition blasted the government.
Is the Minister of Agriculture willing to accept responsibility for the self-regulating food inspection system he put in place?
How many people must get sick before the minister will reverse cuts to CFIA funding and give them the resources they need to keep our food safe?
There are no cuts to the food safety system in CFIA. We continue to enhance the capacity of CFIA from both a budgetary and a human resources perspective to get that job done.
But the Agriculture Union says that's not true, insisting there weren't enough federal inspectors at the meat plant to handle the volume of beef carcasses. As a result, they say, plant staff themselves did the cleaning with little oversight, which may have prompted the E. coli outbreak.
So there's the washing, cleaning, and sanitizing, and is now the plant responsibility. And that responsibility fell apart somewhere.
XL Foods also released a statement, its second since the outbreak began. In it, it takes full responsibility and promises to strengthen its testing and surveillance protocols whenever Ottawa allows it to reopen. Richard Madden, CTV News, Ottawa.
Meantime, Canada's biggest beef recall is causing a scare amongst consumers. But as Stefan Kaczmar explains, there are ways to protect yourself from E. coli.
Consumers are being asked to be extra careful with their beef products. They need to know which store it came from and where it originated. If your store can't answer those questions, it's just best to stay away. The outcome can be an unpleasant one, potentially fatal if extra precaution isn't taken.
You will feel abdominal tummy pains, and then you'll have diarrhea, and the tummy pains are actually cramping like pains, and they're quite severe. You can't miss it.
There are a few practical ways to make sure you aren't affected by the bacteria. Cooking your meat at proper temperatures is crucial. Keeping your meat frozen will keep it sanitary, while any dish that comes in contact with raw meat should not be used until clean.
Wash your hands before you handle meat and after you handle meat. And if you think you may have suspicion of E. coli, please don't go near any food at all.
The number of patients that have ended up in hospital with E. coli-like symptoms continues to rise in both Alberta and Saskatchewan. If you experience severe symptoms, please contact emergency immediately. Stefan Kaczmar, Newcap News.
It's estimated more than 500 Aboriginal women have been murdered or gone missing over the last decade. All across Canada, the Sisters in Spirit Vigil and Walk was held to honor those women, including right here in the border city. Naramanisa has more.
It's a song steeped in tradition. The honor song is sung for the hundreds of missing and murdered women across the country. It's something dear to Pauline Muskego. She is grieving the loss of her daughter. Darlene Bossy went missing in 2004. Her remains were found 4 years later.
We don't know why it happened to us, but it happened. And we just do our best to remember her in a good way.
Dozens of people spent their lunch hour walking around downtown, hoping their message spreads.
The important message is to try and create an awareness to all people in Canada, it doesn't matter what race or country they're from, that we have a lot of missing Aboriginal people that have been murdered and tortured.
This issue hasn't gone away, that unfortunately, we still have women and girls still missing. And we're doing everything we can to show support to the families.
The Sisters in Spirit Walk first began in 2004, but this was the first one here in Lloydminster. Organizers would like to make this an annual event, so those who suffered a loss in their life know they're not alone.
events like today helps families with their grieving. It supports the family. We support the families that have lost members in their family, and it's a support mechanism.
Nair Manisa, Newcap News.